Nchincha, thanks a lot for your time. First of all, let's talk about the Culling Black Label Cup coming up this weekend against Orlando Pirates. Must be looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it, especially after losing to Pirates in the Vodacom Challenge. So obviously it makes it a bit exciting that we want to claw back and even the score. So that makes it exciting in that regard. And obviously the supporters are looking forward to it because even though it is pre-season, for them the results mean a lot. But as far as the technical teams are concerned, it's all about actually assessing the readiness of the team for the new season. So it's not really about results per se, but obviously each team will want to win.
Okay. There's been some criticism when the Culling Black Label Cup was launched. People felt Telkom Charity shouldn't have replaced, but you had reasons for that.
Well, unfortunately, people obviously will react. Whenever there's change, there'll always be a reaction against or for the change. So naturally, because the charity has been there for a long time, and obviously it had become part of our whole year calendar. So the one understands the reaction from the fans, but the truth of the matter is that this was a democratically taken decision. I mean, a democratic process took place where people felt that maybe we should change because of various reasons. Number one, I mean, the sponsors were the ones who actually benefited from the whole hype of the charity because the whole initiative is about the PSL, but PSL they had never been getting any credit for it. And apart from that, I think the format of the charity itself has always been controversial, and it has not been addressed properly, and it was always bringing unnecessary controversy and so forth. And other clubs were obviously trying to cheat to get into the charity, which was not really the purpose. Our purpose was to actually give something to charity instead of just focusing on getting to participate. And as Kaizer Chiefs, I think we're very proud that we actually participated in each and every one of them since 1985. So, and we've also won quite a lot of them. In fact, we've dominated that scene. However, there was a time that would come for change, and it came. And also the people felt that we did this because we wanted to do something on our own, and that's far devoid of the truth.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is that Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates saw this opportunity and said, well, what do we do for our fans? Because we owe it to our fans to continue to give them entertainment, because we're in the entertainment industry. So we decided that we come up with something of this nature in the form of the Culling Black Label Cup. And of course, you will realize that some teams are also engaged in pre-season tournaments, some of them sponsored by the local governments and so forth. Yeah. So they are also doing exactly what we are doing. The only difference, of course, here is that when Chiefs and Pirates get together to do something, we do things differently. Okay. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah. You mentioned change. There might be some changes. Sentiments echoed that there should be changes in the format of the Vodacom Challenge.
Yes, of course. The Vodacom Challenge, when we initially started the first 5 years or so, I mean, we obviously targeted the top African teams because at the time there was also this yearning for teams from Africa to come to South Africa. We wanted to actually engage with the African top teams so that we're not really isolated from them, because it was an opportunity that we wanted to use to get more involved with the African teams. But going to the past 5 years, it was because it was aligned towards the World Cup. We looked at the 2010 coming, and we felt that I think it would make a very good contribution for us to bring European teams. And unfortunately, obviously, we could not bring two teams because it would have been very, very expensive.
Okay.
That's why we brought one team, and obviously we had to settle for the format that was there, which is a bit skewed because it gives the visiting team, an advantage. As you can see right now with Tottenham Hotspurs, we beat them in the first round, and we lost to Pirates, but they went to the final without winning a game. So that's one of the things. But going forward, I think we are now going to refocus. I mean, look at the whole thing and see how best we can come up with something different. So we are going to be looking and addressing that issue in the near future.
Okay. Coming back home, I believe you've got 3 players from Ghana on trial here with Amakosi.
Yeah, we do have some players that have come for us to look at, and this has been ongoing, before we started training, and I think there might be one or two more we will be looking at next week, before we finally wind up the whole process. So I think it's a call from the technical team to say they would like to see them, and also look at the areas actually that they need to reinforce.
Okay.
So that is the basis of why we brought them here.
Okay. When you sign players, what qualities do you look at in terms of reinforcing the squad?
Well, obviously you evaluate your squad and look at the areas that are strong, and you look at the backup if you need to have any backup in those areas, and you also look at the areas that are not as strong as you want them to be, and obviously you look at not only a short-term program, but you look at a long-term plan to say, and also the ages are also important, because while we win now, we must also be thinking about tomorrow, because tomorrow is what will really help us to sustain the success that we have enjoyed over the past few years.
You might lose Musona. How far is the deal? Is it happening?
The deal will probably be sealed sometime this week, because the German people will be coming. I think they're arriving on Wednesday. Okay. And following the arrival, then we'll be able to see if we can be able to put pen on paper to seal the deal. So it's almost there.
Is it going to Germany or to Scotland, as some people have suggested?
No, we have. He hasn't been. We haven't actually done anything as far as Scotland is concerned. He's been only focused on the German deal.
Okay. Now, in terms of your views, top South African players, national team players going overseas for trials, your views on that? When you look at other countries, players, they just go for medicals.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with where the players come from. You see, in most countries in Africa, you find that the players leave Africa, they go to some parts in Europe, like Belgium and so forth, at a younger age. So by the time they reach the top, obviously they are well developed. So in our case in South Africa, you'll find that most of the time the players only go overseas at a late stage, and that is why we have this kind of problem. And if you look at South America too, I mean, South American players are very well developed at an early age, so that it has a lot to do with the late development of our players.
Okay. Spiwe Tshabalala, he did well during the World Cup, and he continues to do well. A lot of people felt he could have been overseas by now.
Well, unfortunately, Spiwe has done very well for himself and the club, and also for the country. But unfortunately, in Europe now, there's so much saturation in terms of players, because it's not easy to crack it in Europe. It's unfortunate that a player like him did not catch the eye of one of the top teams in Europe, because his performance has been very, very, very good, and he's been playing exceptionally well. And I'm surprised actually myself why he hasn't cracked it, because a player of his caliber should be playing in Europe anyway.
Yeah. And then the other thing, coming back home again, in terms of your objectives for the season, a lot of people are always going to look back at what Pirates did last season, winning a treble. Pressure's going to be on the Chiefs coach this season.
I wouldn't say so. I think the pressure would be more on Pirates, because in this game of football, the more you achieve, the more people expect you to achieve. So
Yeah.
Pirates is the one that is going to under severe pressure. I do understand that winning the treble had taken a whole load off their shoulders because they hadn't won anything in 8 years. So it really made sense for them to do that. But now the pressure is going to be mounting on Pirates even much more because they've won a treble. So the coach that has taken over at Pirates obviously has to win 4 trophies to survive, or probably to win 3 trophies to still stay at Pirates. Otherwise, he's going to be judged by what his predecessor did, and it's unfortunate. And of course, this is football.
Yeah.
Such things do happen in football. But as far as Chiefs is concerned, the pressure is always there. Whether we win the league this season and next season, there will always be pressure because, like I say, the more you become successful, the more people expect you to be more successful.
Yeah. And what do you set as your targets for next season for the coach? Winning the league, winning trophies?
We don't set any targets, but per se. But obviously, we evaluate the success of what we have achieved over the season, and what and where we could have done better if we should have done better. So the target is for us to win anything that is available.
Okay.
And at this point in time, the target is number 1 is the league, obviously. And that is the primary target for every team in the league anyway.
Okay.
But the others obviously become just a cherry on top.
Okay. Final question. You are passionate about youth development, and you did mention that the Players Awards. How are the plans going there in terms of making sure that there is a solid development structure in place?
We are busy in our final stages, planning stages of the new youth development structure, and we're also busy finalizing our development of the facility itself to make sure that we provide a good facility, a very much high-tech facility for us to be able to achieve that objective. So very soon we'll be making an announcement to say where we are going from there.
Okay. Closing words, your message to the Kaizer Chiefs supporters for the upcoming season?
Well, I must say that I'm happy that we have assembled the team that we have right now, because I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, even though we lose Musona. But I think we have assembled a good team. So I would like to say to our Chiefs supporters that they must keep faith. We will be with them. We thank them for having been with us through thick and thin in the past, and we ask them to continue in that vein so that they can be able to fuel the team and make sure the team gets on a high every time. Okay. And of course, we do expect them to get rid of some of these boo boys who always boo the players whenever they're not doing well. And we know that those are in the minority, but it is not in the Chiefs' culture to do that, because they can only demoralize the team instead of supporting the team.
Okay. Captain Chincha, thanks a lot.
Can I say something about the Vodacom Challenge?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I think we also have to be proud that since we brought in the English teams, I'm sure you slot it in there.
Yeah.
Since we brought in the English teams to take part in this Vodacom Challenge, we have participated in 3 cup finals, and we won 3 cup finals against the 2 Manchester teams. So in that regard, we are very proud that we have achieved, we have done so well in this competition. In fact, overall, the Vodacom Challenge, including the past version of the Vodacom Challenge, we have been the dominating factor, because we've won it 5 times, all in all.
Okay.
So obviously, Alex Ferguson had to come back to reclaim the trophy after we beat them the first time. So, because he's very hungry, he's always hungry for success. So he made sure he came back. And I think also we must be proud that we did beat Tottenham the first game, even though we couldn't reach the finals.
Yeah.
Because we beat their best team. There is no doubt that they can say probably they had some players off and so forth, because we both put our best 11, our best team to play.
Okay. Now that you mentioned Vodacom Challenge, this is the last question. Harry Redknapp, he spoke positively about the South African football. Was it just saying that because he's here, that's what the people wanted to hear, or is it a genuine a reflection of what he saw here?
I think Harry is a very good manager, and he knows he's one of those who knows the stuff, and I think his comments are very sincere. I don't think he would have said what he said if he didn't mean it. In fact, the very same thing that I said, that we beat 2 Manchester teams. I mean, we beat Man City here with their full squad as well. So our standard is not bad, as people might think it is.
Okay, Captain Ginger, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.